Father Christmas bought me a new toy this year, an Instax camera. I love it and have been taking so many of the mini-sized instant photos. But now I have a big stack and I'm not sure how to scrapbook them. Glitter Girl, can you help?
Of course I can. I've used Instax photos for a long time with an actual Instax camera, and then this year for Christmas got this lovely toy called the Instax Share, which comes in a few different variations, and I have the one that does mini size prints. And I've made these 2 pages recently. This is an older one from CHA in 2016 with the lovely Olya Schmidt, who you might have some of her designs on some of your scrapbooking supplies. And then I've made these 2 recently. This one was from a Friday live on Facebook the other day. And this one I made without filming at all, just to play with lots of different layers and just one single mini Instax print in the middle of all that. And what you can see from all 3 of those things is that what I love about Instax prints is using lots and lots of layers with them. So I'm going to do that today, but I'm going to show you how I'm making the print. Now, if you're using an Instax camera, then you're just printing from the camera. If you use the printer, then you can choose any photo you've taken on any camera as long as you can get it onto your device to send it over. And so you go into your settings and you select the Instax from your Wi-Fi connection. So you're coming off your house Wi-Fi and connecting directly to that. And then you open the Instax Share app. You can choose to just take a picture straight away, or you can go to your library. Now you can go not only to the photos that you have on your device, but you can also go straight to your social media accounts if you prefer. So I've put the photos I'm going to use right up here at the top. And I'm going to do 2 photos today. Once I select the picture, then I can edit it. I've got my printer on there. I'm going to connect here. Hopefully it'll say that, yep, now I'm connected. Now if I want to edit that photo, I can move it around. I can edit within the app. But I'm fine for it to just go just like that. So then my Instax print comes out there. And that one will come up while I go to the second one. Let me see if I can show you the editing. So if I wanted to edit the picture or filter it, I can do that right there. I can do the filter it suggests, not far off from what I've already got. I can zoom in, I can rotate it. Yeah. So you've got control over all of that. And you can also go in and just do brightness, contrast, and saturation if you prefer. Okay, so print that one. And you can see this one hopefully coming up. And you just use the same Instax film that you would use in an Instax camera. So there is one that prints the larger size, if that's what you would prefer, the square print that's more like the old Polaroid that we know and love. But this is the mini, and these little spots are on the film because I bought party dot style Instax film, so it's here too. You can get just the plain ones, white. You can get ones with black or solid color frames. You can even get them in black and white, which I used in my Christmas journal this year, where whatever picture you come through is only going to develop in black and white. The only thing you have to keep in mind when you're using these special films is that you cannot take the pack of film out. If you take it out of the machine, it's going to all be exposed and ruined. So there are 10 images in the pack, so I've got to do 7 more polka dots because that was the first one I printed, and I've got these 2 today. I can't print anything else until I've done 7 more on the polka dot frames. So sometimes I plan out what I'm going to print on a special pack of film and then just print them. If I want to go back to solids, I would print them all and set them aside, or you can just remember what you've got in there. I'm starting with my 2 prints and a couple sheets of 12 by 12 paper that I've taken from the 12 by 12 project pad in the Glitter Girl collection, which means that the papers are single-sided, but some of them have some special finishes that the double-sideds don't. So this print now has an iridescent glitter on it, so we're going to use that. And this was a B-side that had a cut apart on the other side, so I kept finding that as much as I wanted to use the pink polka dots, I didn't, because because I was using the cut apart instead. So in here, it's just a single side. There's also some textured solid cardstock to coordinate. I'm just gonna have a quick flip through here for you. So this is 12 by 12 project pad, some glittery papers, some foiling with that holographic print, and then at the front you get an alpha that has gold glitter and a set of stickers that are similar to the 6 by 12 stickers, but they are glossy rather than matte cardstock. Okay, enough of that. Now, I'm starting with that as the background, but this is dots on dots on dots, and I'm going to embrace lots of dots, but I'm going to use lots of layers to separate those dots from these dots. Some of that's going to be big dots, you know? Lots of dots. But I've also brought lots of things from my scraps. So those are the only 2 sheets that were full pieces of paper. Then I've just gone through my scrap basket and pulled out lots of things that kind of match the similar colors I was using, plus some old favorites that I could put in there, like these cameras that I use all the time. I think I've used about 4 sheets of them and I still love them. And I'm just going to cut lots of things into layers to go behind this. Alright, so let's get started. I'm going to start with something that's quite neutral, a really old piece of KI Memories paper, because I love their old gray prints, and I have just used lots of them for a long time. I think I'll use this piece, and because the directionality of these photos is going that way, I'm looking down in this one and down on an angle of that one, I'm going to go up here to the top right of my page, and my composition is going to be up here somewhere. And I'm going to cut a bunch of these scraps into pieces that I can use, and then layer them all up. I like to start this process by having lots of boxes, so I took all of those scraps and cut them down to rectangles so they didn't have any odd shapes from where I'd used the other parts of the paper, and then I can just take all of these things and start to build them into some sort of composition. Now I'm going to be using gray ink on my edges. Ink is totally a personal preference, but the reason I like it is when I'm using lots of layers and lots of pieces from different papers and different collections, I feel like having something in common helps them work together just that little bit better. So if the edges are all the same color, even if the patterns are all different shades and all different, styles and designs, I feel like it makes them look a little more cohesive on my layout. So that's why I do all that inking. And I like to go usually with a neutral color because something like gray or brown or black is going to look the same on all of those colors, with the exception of brown on blue, which makes a really weird combination, but that's a subject for another day. Today I'm using gray on all of these papers. Now I'm ready to start layering. So I can start with the biggest pieces at the back, and I'll start to see where I need something in between. So for example, those are both color schemes that go together, but they're both on white, and I need something to divide them. So those pieces are going to help break up that. And some of that's going to get covered up, so I'm not too worried. So I'll start here. And I'm always leaving the potential to move things around. I'm going to tuck different layers in here and there, so don't want to panic too much about where any one particular thing might end up. And if a piece is not big enough, that's okay. One is going to go there, the other one's going to come down here. And I can just use another piece of paper as my straight edge, figure out where it would be had it been that whole length. Not worried about the bird in particular, so that guy can go over there. Or am I ready for, maybe I put the gray on first. Yep. Now, here's the thing. With this type of technique, you do lose a lot of what's going on those papers. And it's just part of the look. So if you have a paper where you really, really love every little bit of it, and it would make you cry to lose some of that design, then don't use it on this sort of technique. Yeah, but that's why I like using scraps for this, because all of these papers have likely already appeared somewhere else in my albums, or they definitely can fit somewhere else in my albums. And that means I'm okay with layering them all up and you're not seeing a lot of each print. Because you can't get this look with showing every little detail. You have to have just little strips of it or it's not the same look. So it's a choice. And I totally understand that when you have a favorite paper and you want to show it off, this makes you cry. So don't use your favorite papers on this type of technique. Save those for this part, because look how much of that you can see. So if you want one that's really going to show off, then you make that a full sheet. Yeah. Don't let it stress you out. Okay. Get the photos on here. And I do adhere the Instax pictures just the same way that I do all my other photos. And actually that's ended up, the pictures have ended up a little more central than I wanted them to, so I'm going to move this whole gray box. And you can see why I wouldn't do this with an adhesive that's completely permanent from the very beginning. I'm going to move it all the way over here actually. Hoping that that's going to fit in there somewhere. Yeah, almost fits in there as if it were a third photo, but it's not going to be. Okay, this one, I don't really want this text, I want this text. So I'm just going to cut that into a new piece, ink that new edge that I just made. And because I can't see the whole of the word fabulous, I'm not bothered about covering it up. Now, I do have a lot of white on white there, so I might end up adding something else behind there. Now, I want a journaling box somewhere, and I chose this one because the color matches, and I could use that as an introduction to my journaling, but I don't need to, and I think I like it better without. So I'm going to pop that up there. That's from an Amy Tangerine cut apart. Okay, I think I've got this enough that I can go ahead and put it onto the background. I might pull it up again, you never know. But I think at the moment it's looking like it would be okay. Kind of need to make a decision about whether you want all of the layers to be completely square or whether you're embracing some wonkicity, some angles here and there. But I would say keep the angles smaller rather than larger. Now, I picked this up at the weekend from Paper Chase. 8 paper tapes. Now, I already have tape, that the washi tape set that goes with the Glitter Girl collection, but hey, this is more tape that goes with the Glitter Girl collection. Obviously, it's not my design. It just happens to coordinate. So I'm going to give it a try if I can get the box open. And put some washi tape into these layers. So I've got unicorns, rainbow, shooting stars or comets with just a multicolored star. This one says I'm really a unicorn, and 3 different metallic ones there, and a little edge to cut them on. So, what to choose? I'm kind of liking this periwinkle purple glitter. I'm going to give it a try. So, I can bring that up somewhere like this. And here maybe. And then down here at the bottom. So that's given me a triangle of 3 things, because everything else so far has been completely all different stuff. So that's given me a little area where I can go to and say, right, here's my triangle. It surrounds my photos. So if I want to add more stuff, I've got 3 easy places that I can always add more stuff. Because, you know, adding more stuff is something I like to do. Now, I pulled out my sticker book, hashtag sticker book, and I pulled out these embellishments from Paige's Oh My Heart collection, which also has some washi tape strips that I thought might come in handy, and some normal stickers and some foil stickers and some alphas. Cute little set. And I'm going to go with this lighter pink now. I can find the edge. There we go. And I'm not worried about this word here, so I'm going to cover that up with a bit of tape there. And I'm going to layer it up here. And this last piece, I think needs to go down right about here, or maybe just here, keep it closer. Okay, let's put it right there. So that's a triangle around the photos as well. Not the same triangle, but they do intersect here, so this part is going to have some fun embellishment. Now, I was wondering about some of the block stickers like this. Might as well go ahead and use the one that has my face on it. But where? Actually, I think I might bring it all the way down here. Maybe I put it under this tape. It's pink on pink though, and it's exactly the same pink. So maybe not. Just trying to get this so this edge and that edge are not exactly the same point. There we go. That links the turquoise in there as well. And I'm wondering about putting stuff right on top of these cameras, but maybe words on top of the cameras is the better idea. So 3 of these pink squares, I think. I'm going to bring one of them over here to this tape. Now there's lots of boxes, but it's all boxes. So I really want to add in some shapes that are not boxes to kind of give me a little bit of balance and variety. So I'm going to my circle page of stickers now, and going to start with this spot that I've got down here, because I can always add to the areas where I've already taped off. And I'm not going to have 3 that are the same backing color like I had here, because I just don't have that in my color options unless I went with more of the pale pink. So I'm going to switch it up a little bit, and each one will be a little different. So I'm just trying to see where I think the white is just a little too, there's so much white here already that it's going to fade in. So I think the color is best for giving a little bit of contrast. And I might actually keep these quite near each other and go kind of on a little zigzaggy line here. I was at first thinking no to yellow, but I've actually got a little dose of yellow there, so it wouldn't hurt to put some yellow in. And I could put this yellow up here with the other bit of that sparkly tape. Might need to move the tape over a little bit, so let's see what I can do here. So that one. I'm just going to take that tape back a little bit so it's just a bit shorter. There we go. So I've got, let's see, what else can I bounce around there? Maybe this unicorn. And maybe that needs to go right about here. Can tuck underneath these. One, two, three, four. And then maybe bring one down here into this open space. I like the contrast against the pink, so I think I'll go with that lightning bolt. Now on their own, these feel a little kind of giant and maybe not feeling like this kind of rainfall line. So I'm going to add small circles as well, which I love these for. So these are solid color holographic pale stickers, and I'm going to also add in things that have dimension like enamel dots. I'm going to start with these. I'm going to bring in some navy to the others that don't have navy. And then to the ones that already have navy, I can bring in some hot pink. And then for contrast, I can bring in the purple because I've got little bits of purple here, but I haven't added lots. So I'm going to bring that all through this line. Oops. So that I can scatter a zigzag of purple dots all the way up. And let's see, how about some of the yellow as well? A little bit of yellow here and there. And then time to move on to something that's not flat. So how about some enamel dots? What color could I bring in? I kind of like the idea of bringing in something that has a different finish. I've got these that are pink glitter enamel dots. Let me give these a try. And I think the smaller ones I'm going to overlap. So I'm going to do, because those large ones are basically the same exact size as the stickers. So to have the variety, I'm going to overlap small ones, and then I'm going to come back with some larger ones as well. Maybe these lighter ones. Now, I did warn you at the beginning. The thing I like with Instax prints is lots of layers. So I wasn't kidding. I'm going to keep putting more and more stuff on there. And I want to bring this neutral in a bit more, so I'm going to use some gray opaque mist. And this one actually works a little bit better if I just tap it to get my larger dots. Then I can have a few that are a bit less predictable as well. There we go. So now, starting to have that kind of wavy line down the middle. Okay, I want to get my journaling on here before I run out of room because the embellishment is creeping onto my journaling box. And I could do it in black, but I think I'm going to try white because of the white pen there. And I'm going to use a Sakura Jelly Roll in medium. That's my favorite white pen. None of the fancy versions, not glaze, not souffle, just plain old Jelly Roll medium. Now there's absolutely no reason not to just stop right here. It's got something that works as a title. I used that say yes to lead into my journaling. My journaling is all yes to this and yes to that and yes to the other thing. And there's plenty of pretty paper on there. But you know that I don't like to stop at the first available point to stop. So there's a few more things I want to put on the page. I want to have a little subtitle that kind of comes down here with some letter stickers here. And I'm feeling that this part of the embellishment is a bit flat and I would like to add something there. So first I'm going to grab the letter stickers in here. And I could do purple or navy. I think I might go with the purple if I have the letters that I want. I think I found what will work to bring it all together and make this part not feel flat. I've done a simple little subtitle here with one more little line of text here. So I've got the white pen showing up here, here, and here. And wanted to put this in as a little subtitle because in scrapbooking Wonder Boy's pictures, I find that more and more I want to put in the words that he uses as my titles. And I wonder why sometimes I don't put the things that are a part of my current vocabulary in. So I know that this was said a lot the day these photos were taken by all of my friends that were there, and it was just something that was very of the moment, so I think it's quite appropriate to put in the album. Now, I wanted something that wasn't flat over here and that would have a little bit of a punch of color and different pattern and everything to bring something different to these cameras, so that's going to go there, just a little chipboard butterfly. And I was wondering if I had just a small butterfly somewhere else that I could bring over here. I don't have one that would match that necessarily, but I could have a quick peek to see if I could just have one little something over here. But if I don't have a butterfly, I might just use a heart. I think I don't have a butterfly. I think I have used everything that is butterfly-ish in my stash at the moment. So instead, I might go just with something like this. This little bit of light pink, floral. Bring all those layers together. That's not quite straight. Let's try again. Just enough off that it looks off. Let's get it so it doesn't look off. There we go. And I'm going to leave that there. So my answer with Instax apparently is all the layers. It's what I love with Instax photos. And maybe it's because Instax photos have layers to begin with. They're already framed, so they're already going to stand apart from what else is there. They're a little bit less realistic than the other photos that I use, so I feel like I have more license to play and not a huge necessity to tell a huge meaningful story. This is definitely a story I want in my album, and it's a snapshot of life and attitude and all of these things on one particular day, one particular moment in time. So I do love having those kinds of stories, but this is not a journaling where I want to spend half a page and bring tears to my eyes. It was something fun and energetic, and that's how that translates to paper for me. So I would love to see what you're doing with Instax prints or small ones, or talk to me about what kind of things you like or dislike about Instax or Polaroid or anything like that. You can always ask the Dark Girl a question in the comments here, or you can find us sharing our pages and chatting as a group on our Facebook group, Scrapbook Like a Superhero. And you're welcome to subscribe here or on Instagram to see more of what I'm making. Thanks so much, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye!